welcome back to Zalonka. And wow, looking at that repair gauge, I was going to say we're going to go and do some contracts, but what I think we need to do is go and repair the tractor. I think we'll multitask, and I think at the same time we want to take that with us. We want to detach that. We're going to go get a bit more fertilizer because there is a pretty chunky fertilizing contract that, in fact, I'm going to grab so it doesn't vanish. Although contracts seem to hang around pretty well anyway. It's on field 93. So let's take that. 44 is actually right next to the store. So let's take that as well. 93 is way down there. So, okay. I'm not going to cut the grass this month. I have checked and it's going to grow again in November. So, the general feedback seems to be keep plugging away at the contracts, earning money. And I liked Stephen's idea of using the contracting money to set ourselves up with some income generation so that when we do start skipping time, it's going to be productive and basically make us some money. So yeah, kind of like that idea. So that's what I'm going to keep doing as long as you guys aren't getting bored of me contracting away. That's what we'll do. There was a somewhat tempting 9 grand contract, but it's parsnips, and that means it's going to be painful. It might be an interesting test of the new worker system. And I say might, because it might actually just be a massive ball of suck. That's a technical term, by the way, in case you weren't aware. It's a technical term. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel enthusiastic in the next game day. By the way, let's put the time back on. I slowed it down while I was working out what the heck I was going to do with my... I was going to say life, but day. Right, let's go repair our vehicle. And we can make some progress. There is a repair point apparently back here. I'm not very organised today. Not very organised. Right, let me just check that. Okay. Game settings. Interactive markers on. There we go. Hey, look at that. As if by magic, the shopkeeper appears. So many of my bad jokes are very UK centric. Oh yes, geez, that needs a repair. And there goes all of the money that we had made. But hey, I got a sticker for it. What could be better, hey? A sticker or 7 grand in the bank? Fertilizer. Buy. Yes, thank you. So we need to recover some of that cash. So that's just wiped out a whole load of the money that we'd earned. Break. I had a play with the motorcycle earlier. Wow, that thing doesn't have brakes. It was an experience. I'll put it that way. I was using it as a... when I do the Can You Make Money videos, I tend to use vehicles as a way of getting around the map quickly to get to wherever I need to be, or basically to get between. That's because the working width is too. Yeah. So this happens apparently when the working width is too wide for GPS to work out, of course. So we'll freehand it. Yeah, when I do those videos, because we don't have certain mods yet, I tend to put a vehicle next to the animal pen and then a vehicle next to the sleep trigger, and I tab between them. I use the motorbike for part of that because I just thought it'd be funny. And yeah, but it doesn't seem to have much in the way of breakage. Well, it probably would have been broken edge And poor Grandad Walter wouldn't have been there anymore. And that's the local water source contaminated. Oh well. Doesn't look that much of a water source anyway. Go again. Yeah, so I was watching a Driver 53 video. He's done a lot of videos on the base game workers. It's the only workers we have at the moment. And yeah, if there's not enough field to generate a course that includes a headland, apparently the game doesn't like it, and it will tell you the field doesn't exist. Alright, field 93. Okay, I'm going to drive to that. I'll see you in a bit. Right, here we are. Not a massive field. Make sure you go over the bridge first. Then make sure you do the correct field. I'm going to say the right field, but it's the left field. There we go. Okay. Let's get on that course. We'll at least recover some of the cost of repairing this darn tractor. And there's another little farm there as well, so that's 3 on this map. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Kind of cool. So, if you haven't watched it yet, I did a video yesterday, probably by the time I release this, looking at the profitability of sheep and goats. It turns out they're pretty darn profitable, not actually much worse than dairy cows. So, having to go for sheep and goats wasn't a bad thing necessarily. And in fact, maybe we've got more goats and sheep than we would have had cows. So maybe it's going to turn out to be a better option than if we'd gone for cows. But what I'm using now in this whole making things more profitable idea is if we could afford, or if we should be aiming to pick up one of the little productions. And now that that's running, we go into construction. Factories. It's down the bottom. Sawmill, sugar mill, tailor shop, spinnery, oil mill, grape process. There is the small dairies, 36,000. But it would allow us to bottle our goat's milk, which increases the... So I'm looking because the comment that you just made, Smok, about bottled goat's milk is worth a little bit less, but you get double the amount. So if we go into the prices menu, goat's milk peaks at about 5,500. Bottled goat's milk peaks at about 4 and a bit thousand, but you turn 10 litres into 20 litres. So almost maybe worth buying goat's milk and bottling it. Yeah. But we might... Yeah, it's a lot of money to... It's more expensive than I thought it was going to be, actually. Best way back to the farm from here. Back up through there, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's spin around. No, it's not. Let's destroy some of the farmer's crop and get back on the bridge. Yeah, so I need to have a look through some things, I think. I do like the idea of chickens. I haven't checked yet on their profitability. It was on my list to do today, but it took me took me all of the time that I wanted to spend doing farm sim stuff. In fact, more time than I wanted to spend doing farm sim stuff making the freaking sheep video. It was the sheep bit of the video that took the longest. Goats weren't too bad, mainly because I learned from doing the sheep's bit. But chickens are tempting. Chickens are tempting. I don't want to get into playing Pallet Simulator though, particularly without auto load. So might have to have a look at the maths of something like construction. Maybe, and the best we could do is some of the smaller generators. So, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, we should go and sleep, shouldn't we? Yeah. And redeem the contract before we do that. Contracts. Collect. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a little bit of a snooze and we'll see what we've got to do in the morning. There is a great demand at the grain mill. I wonder what that's for. Only there was a mod that could help with that, eh? Only. I suppose the easy thing to do is check whether it's for canola or sorghum. Sorghum. It is not, so it doesn't really matter, does it? That's interesting. We seem to have got terrain deformation. I guess that's gravel, isn't it? So yeah, you would get terrain deformation on gravel. Field 46 is next door to us. Well, Grandad Water. We'll do that for you before we drive home. And then harvesting contracts. What have we got? Carrots, cotton, carrots, parsnips, beets, cotton, beets, carrots. So mostly root crops. Which... do we just take that big parsnip contract and see how painful it is? I think we do. Tempted to take both of them. Leasing costs for the kit is the same. Go for it. We're going to accept that one if we don't end up doing it. We won't. Actually, I maybe don't want to do that. Because we don't want it to deliver to the wrong contract. Anywho. Let's get this done. And then we'll do that big old parsnip contract. And I'm going to have to use a worker. So we'll see if the new worker AI can run the harvester while I can't. Seems like a thing we could do. Seems like a thing we could do. Let's go. Let's get on that road. Yeah. I don't think I've done any parsnip harvesting. I don't think I've done any harvesting with one of those big harvesters. So why not? Why not? A challenge and an opportunity. I think I might cancel the one on 51 and we can always pick it up again if we're desperate. I think we'll just do the one on field 49. Was it really that little corner? Come on, Gramps, you're a bit stingy, mate. There we go. Happy? Typical old person. It's like Pete. It's like doing his contract for Pete. I bet he'd be like that. Right. Let's leave our tractor here. Wow, we freewheel a long way. Let's put the brakes on, chap. No, we can't brake without the engine on. Ah, well. Active. Yeah, so 51 is going to go. Yes. So we'll clear that. We'll collect on that. And let's... No. That's what I wanted to get into. Thank you very much. So the field is field 49, which is not too far away, actually. Which is good. How was it? Yeah, go down to the crossroads and up. See, so we're starting to get a flow of mods coming out. Not just mods from Giants. So, Wildlife, part of the farming agency, had a couple come out. Ola, also part of the farming agency, had rounder, wrapped round, rounder, wrapped round bales come out. And there was another actually really cool looking mod to help with landscaping stuff. So, yeah. And a front cultivator. So, really cool. I have submitted my first and possibly only mod for FS25. Not going to be doing so much of it this time. Not so fast on doing modding this time around. And it failed first testing, but is almost ready to go back. So we're going to start on the headland. That's okay. That's okay. We're not going to skip any rows. Okay. Activate worker. Are you going to go and do the headland? Got show lines on. Work on headland to start with headland. Okay. I'm going to reposition this. I'll reposition it. Now, realism is not so great because we're going to have to run in the crop, but reset. And H. That's it. Perfect. Let's grab this. And we've got a decent sized trailer, which is good. So let's go see if we can get this to work, because 9 grand in the bank would be very nice. As long as it's not too timed, and some spare parsnips. Or some parsnips to sell. And it's a decently fast tractor, which is nice for carting. But yeah, we're going to end up driving in the crop because we're using a worker. And it is what it is. Well, yes. Can I adjust that? To dismiss you. F1. There we go. Let's see if it will go back on the worker now. That might be better. Might be better. So I don't think I ever used these dwarf harvesters in FS22, so it looks like we're running about 8 kilometers an hour, so try and get cruise control set to that. There we go. And wow, seems to be working. Feels like it could take a while, but I guess that's why it pays so much. I'm kind of glad I cancelled the other one. Well, yeah, so as part of that testing that I did for the sheep video, I found out that, and you may have found this out as well, grazing is pretty bugged at the moment. You can sort of see it actually, maybe with the pen that we have on here, in that there is grass in the meadow that hasn't been cut or eaten, and the trough isn't full. So, yep. But I found that once they had grazed, once the game had taken food out of the pasture once, it wouldn't take it again, which is really annoying. Yeah, wasn't impressed by that. Kind of frustrating when you're trying to do a video where the animals can really do well grazing. That wasn't so great, but anyway, I got it done. So. And it does look really good for running sheep and goat based farms, which is good because that's kind of what we are. So, you know, it's kind of good. It is the next actual day, not game day, actual day. I have been at this contract for 2.5 hours in real life. I seriously regret my life choices at this point, and I'm going to explain why. So I ended up stopping yesterday in the evening. I was really tired, and I just decided to call it quits and have a break from the game and just chill out for the evening, to be honest. And I've been working on the contract through the day. Today it's Friday afternoon now, and I kind of went into this expecting this to be a not completely pleasurable experience, but it has been pretty awful, to be honest. And I'm going to talk to you about why, and I'm really glad I didn't record some of it. I have been massively frustrated with the way the worker has tackled some of this stuff. Some of it is to do with the piece of equipment, so this harvester that has 0 capacity, and some of it is to do with the way it tackles corners and headlands. And one of the guys in the Discord was saying the same thing with the P harvester, which has capacity. And what it seems to want to do is when it gets to a corner on a headland, rather than the way, so if you're familiar with Courseplay, if you're a PC player, with Courseplay you have 2 options for corners on headlands. It'll either do a smooth corner, so it'll just go around the corner, and if it misses bits, it misses bits, or you can get it to a sharp corner where it'll do some sort of turn, and sometimes it'll get stuck, but it'll essentially try and do a sharp turn in the corner. What the base game, what this new clever AI worker seems to do, is it gets to a corner and then it tries to carve a big chunk out of the crop, and you'll see the field is an utter mess at this point, and I've given up trying to understand what it's trying to do. And so there's this quite sharp corner up in front of me to the right, and we spent a good 10 plus maybe 15 minutes in that corner, with the worker just nibbling away at little bits and me having to shuffle around to keep the trailer under the auger, and so that he could harvest a little bit and cut a little bit more. And what I was hoping is if I kept feeding him the trailer, that they would eventually turn and go down the headland. No, they just kept nibbling away little bits. And I don't have skip rows on, by the way. This is just what they're deciding to do. I'm going to try and hold the worker to... No, it didn't work. So what I'm trying to do is hold the worker so that they finish emptying. But they have a mind of their freaking... Yeah, I know you're stuck because you're... I've actually been away from the game for a reasonable amount of time, and my frustration levels have instantly rocketed again because now he's waiting for me because for whatever reason. Okay, because you couldn't have emptied that crop out before you started your turn, and now we're going to leave a big chunk of the headland. Not the headland, the start of the row, because you've decided to do some half-assed turn. Yeah. So, I'm going to have my little rant now, and then I'm going to finish the contract up, and we'll be done. So when Giants presented this at FarmCon, they proudly said they felt they had the best algorithm in the world for doing this kind of thing. Bollocks. This guy has no freaking clue. The algorithm that Courseplay uses is significantly better. And because this guy has been fucking about so far, it has cost me $3,000 in wages, because I think this has taken probably at least twice as long as it should have, because of the ineptitude of the world's best AI algorithm. And some of this is because of the harvester not having capacity. But, as I said, one of the guys on Discord was saying that he was using a pea harvester. We go in here, we go to Oxbow. It's the quickest way to get to this, I suspect. Oxbow. Pea harvester has capacity. So, and that was doing the same thing in the corners and essentially faffing about. Let's use a more family-friendly word. Apologies if you're watching with young people. I try not to swear generally in videos, but this has really annoyed me. And it's pretty amazing, actually, that in 6 minutes I've gone from being pretty calm, because I've been away from the computer, to maximum frustration again. Yeah. So, roll on Courseplay, roll on auto drive, I guess, because if I had auto drive, I could be driving the harvester. I cannot wait to finish this contract. So I've slowed the time down massively so that we can finish it at least, so I can recover some of the cost of paying for this incompetent idiot. I'm thinking that I'm going to dock his wages pretty heavily. I don't feel like paying $4,000 for the incompetence that we're probably going to end up paying. Yeah. And I'm never doing a root crop harvesting contract like this again. I could have done about 4 log loading contracts in this time, and I'd have probably enjoyed it a hell of a lot more. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to finish this contract as quickly as I can. Maybe go listen to some soothing music, and see you guys in a little while. Peace. tranquility, happiness. Okay, I have about a trailer and a bit to go, I believe. And we have one more row in the line that the worker is trying to do. We possibly will get most of a trailer off of that. And then we have 2 rows that the worker ignored, or I couldn't get the worker to run on. So I was for quite a while manually restarting the worker at the end of every row. That worked really well for a bit, and it meant that they weren't missing a fraction of the row on each turn. And then I got into a period where I could not get them to restart. And that resulted in those 2 missed rows. So, yeah, but I've been checking the XML file basically to see how much we need to deliver to finish the contract. And we have to deliver, I think it's 438,000 litres of parsnips, which is pretty insane. I should have realised, really, with it being such a big field and with it paying so well, that this was going to be a grind. And I should have been more sensible. It was a bad choice. It was a bad choice. The delivery percentage is pretty much in line with the percentage you can see up in the top right hand corner. I do love that as an addition to the game. It is really good. I just have really not enjoyed doing this contract at all. We will not be doing more of these. I'm going to explore some more of the contracts. I want to have a look at, and I might do some videos on the economics of the greenhouses. And no, a bunch of people have done videos, you know, let's see, like Mr. CDP's pop up in my feed and stuff on the greenhouses, and probably, I haven't watched them. I think a lot of the time he does stuff on how they work. What interests me is, are they profitable or not? And particularly with this series, anything that I invest in, I want to know if I'm going to make money out of it before I spend money on it. And so I spoke about I think in the last video, might have even been the start of this video, because it's so freaking long. I think it was the last video. It was the last video because people have commented on it. I've got my spreadsheet pretty much done now on most profitable crop. It does give slightly different answers to Scroff's one, which is interesting. Now, he did his through doing actual field work. I've done mine through data analysis, and that possibly reflects the fact that the game, although it's based on data, it does have a bit of variation in it when you do things. And I've looked at Driver 53's video as well, and it does line up with his data. I'm not sure if he's done his the same way as I've done mine. So yeah, I'm going to finish putting that together, and I'll put that out as a video, because different people digest data differently, and so the way I present it, it will be different to the way Scroff's presented it, and maybe people will prefer that. I don't know. It's one of the things, being a content creator at game release is a little bit tricky, because everyone is making the same videos. And yeah, from a Let's Play point of view, I've spoken about the fact that I've done this series because I didn't want to be the same as the people that are all doing the same start from, you know, the same start series on the new maps. And I've just started watching Cartech started a series, you know, with starting off with a big debt, which some of you have asked me to do, and I'm waiting for a mod map to do a series like that. Once we get a mod map that captures my interest, I am probably going to redo the Greenland series that I did, where we did the £10 million debt challenge, because that was a lot of fun. But I want to do it when there's a few more mods about, because mods help make that series a bit more interesting, a bit less of a grind. But yeah, so where was I? A lot of content creators are all doing, you know, videos around the same kind of things, and it does sometimes make me think, oh, should I bother? You know, I saw Scroff's one on most profitable crops, and it was like, I probably don't need to bother to do mine now, but I am going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I think there's benefit in, if you're a content creator, doing the videos you plan to do, even if someone else has done them, because people digest information differently. And You know, Scroff's video is very good. It's very thorough, but not everyone wants to watch a half an hour long video. And I would definitely recommend going to watch his video on crop prices. It is really good. And his follow-up one on swathing. That's also really good. But you should also watch my one, maybe, because I'll maybe the way I present the information will click with you. I don't know. But yeah, so I was focused. I'm trying to focus on doing the animal videos, but things like that crop prices one, I've got the data prepared now, so it should be a fairly quick video to get out. It took me so long to do that sheep video. It's freaking cheap. I want to do chickens next. What I've learned from doing the sheep video will help me make doing the chicken video quicker. Probably going to do the data collection for that over the weekend. Next week's a bit busier with work, so I'm probably going to ease up on the farm sim videos. Towards the end of the week, I've kind of tailed off. It's got a bit tiring, actually. It's got a bit tiring, so I've kind of eased off a little bit. And I probably will over the weekend. I think I'm going to slow down a little bit. But yeah, it's, my frustration has eased a little bit as well. We're 90% of 7% of the way through. I'm pondering actually doing a tactical unload here, which to maximize my my punishment, I'm going to do a tactical unload. I'll be back in a second. But my thinking there with the tactical unload was that if this might allow me to get more off of the field, and I'm just going to dump it in the sell point, and maybe we can recover some of the cost of the worker, rather than if I harvest to a full trailer and that gave me enough to complete the contract, then we wouldn't be able to get the rest off of the field. Because I don't think I can tip this in our silo. So in terms of worker costs at the moment, where are we sitting? 3.5 grand. Yeah. So yeah, probably over the weekend. And this video is probably going to come out on Saturday, I suspect. And next week, I don't know what the video is going to look like. So work's getting back to being more normal. Let's say I've been working at home all of this week. Which wasn't actually planned around the release of this game. It actually was to do with some real world stuff. Meant I was working at home this week, not farm sim related, but actually meant that I could focus a little bit more on doing farm sim stuff, which was kind of good. So yeah, but I'm not sure yet when I'm going to return to a more regular schedule. At the moment, basically, I'm throwing out videos as soon as I make them. And just trying to ride the wave of there's a new game out. I want to click on everything to do with the new game that seems to be happening, and it's great. You know, the analytics for my YouTube channel have never looked like this. I don't think so. It's significantly better than the release of FS 22, because my channel was much smaller then. I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers when 22 came out. So, and when FS22 came out, I didn't have the time to put into making videos in the first week. So yeah. Well, what are we doing now? This is where it gets frustrating again. The worker's trying to get all the missed bits, and I get that. There's like a whole really nice long strip they could just line up on. And so I found, I don't know about you guys, but I can't get the kind of the default worker to kick in. It always does the new clever AI worker. Because really, what I want now is the old base game worker, and I could just stick them on, pointed down that long single strip, and we could clear that, and I'd be happy. Because I think if we harvested that, that would give us enough to deliver enough crop to be finished. And what I might do is, if that's what we end up getting on, is if we clear this, I think we'll go deliver whatever we get off of this and see if that gets us done. And we will never speak of this again. Well, you will, because you'll be seeing the video after I finished it, but I won't. Well, I'll respond to your comments, but this weekend, or this week has been a bit of an insight for me. Not really, but a little bit, as to what it's like to have a much more popular YouTube channel. I've had videos that have got, I think the first episode of this series has now got trying to open up YouTube analytics without playing the YouTube video I was watching while you guys weren't here. Contract finished, but it's going to let me keep going. Awesome. So actually, all of this is profit. So that's good. The first video in this series has 11,000 views, which is really pretty crazy for me for a video that I released 5 days ago. Is it not? Oh, it's not harvesting that now. Oh, well, screw you, I guess. In that case, we'll dismiss the worker. And we'll go deliver this stuff. Give it some gas. Yeah. It's, yeah, my videos are never normally that popular. So, I guess this is profit, isn't it? So where do we want to take this to? Prices. Parsnips. Where's the best price for parsnips? It's the farmer's market. Okay, we know where that is. Because I'm just going to sell these. No point trying to keep them. Right, where was I? Yes. So a video of mine getting that many views in less than a week is insane. And the point that I'm trying to get to is, wow, that water looks good. The number of comments that I've got on YouTube videos and the time it's taking me to reply to them. So if you're a regular, you'll know that usually I'm really quick replying to comments, and pretty much I will reply to every comment that I get. And this week I've had so many more comments on videos, and it takes me so much longer to reply to them that, so yeah, it's been a little bit of an insight into why maybe bigger YouTube channels don't always reply to comments on their videos, because it takes a lot of time, and I don't get anywhere near probably what some of the really big YouTube channels get. And so if you're commenting on videos of big YouTube channels and you don't get any acknowledgement of that, that's why. Let's see how much extra cash we get off of selling our meager. So we've got an extra $2,000. So that covered finance. That covered half of the wages. Okay. I'm left miffed. Collect. Thank you. We're never doing those again. We're up to $29,000. I was hoping to be a bit better off than that by the end of that contract. Let's get back in our little Massey. Let's go home. And let's not talk of that again. And it'll be November when we come back. We're going to cut the grass. We're going to make some hay bales. We're going to sell some hay bales, I think. I don't think we need to keep that many. And I'm hoping to raise enough cash to buy something to start increasing our income generation. Because I think that would be a good idea. sort of passive income generation, I guess. Let's do a quick sales check. Ooh, do we need a sprayer? Probably not, actually. I'm not keen. Not in a rush to pick that up. But that would have been way more profitable. Way quicker. I might grab that and do that off camera. Missed the turning again. I might grab that and do that off camera just to top the coffers up a little bit. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm not sure how enjoyable that was. Maybe my frustration was enjoyable for some of you. You didn't get to see the peak of my frustration. Next time, we're probably going to be making hay again. We need to get those bales moved. I'll probably bring them up here and maybe stack them up against the fence line here. And yeah, thank you to the patrons and YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. You are awesome. See ya.